The Laws of Human Nature. Book by Robert Greene. Detailed Summary. Chapter 1, Master Your Emotional Self. Main idea: the ability to control your emotions and manage your reactions is essential to achieving success in life. This chapter lays out the groundwork for mastering your emotional self by understanding the different types of emotions, how they operate, and how to regulate them. Important points. Emotions are a fundamental aspect of human nature and play a crucial role in our daily lives. They can be positive or negative, and they can influence our thoughts, behaviors, and decisions. The problem with emotions is that they can often be overwhelming and lead us astray from our goals. They can cause us to act impulsively, make irrational decisions, and harm our relationships with others. To master your emotional self, you need to first understand your emotions and how they operate. This requires introspection and self-awareness, as well as a willingness to examine your past experiences and how they have shaped your emotional responses. One of the key insights in this chapter is that emotions are not fixed or predetermined. You have the power to change your emotional responses through practice and repetition. This means that you can learn to regulate your emotions and respond to them in a more productive way. Another important concept is the idea of emotional intelligence, which refers to the ability to recognize and understand your own emotions as well as those of others. This skill is essential for building strong relationships, resolving conflicts, and achieving success in a variety of domains. The chapter also discusses several specific techniques for mastering your emotional self, including mindfulness, cognitive restructuring, and reframing. These techniques involve learning to pay attention to your thoughts and feelings, challenging negative beliefs, and reinterpreting situations in a more positive light. Finally, the chapter emphasizes the importance of ongoing practice and self-reflection in mastering your emotional self. This is not a one-time effort, but a continuous process of learning and growth. Overall, Chapter 1 of the Laws of Human Nature lays out a compelling case for why mastering your emotional self is essential to achieving success in life. By understanding your emotions and learning to regulate them, you can overcome obstacles, build strong relationships, and achieve your goals. Chapter 2, Transform Self-Love into Empathy. Main idea: empathy is a crucial skill for understanding and connecting with other people, but it requires us to overcome our natural tendency towards self-absorption and self-love. This chapter explores the importance of empathy, how it can be developed, and the obstacles that can prevent us from cultivating it. Important points. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of others. It is a key component of emotional intelligence and is essential for building strong relationships, resolving conflicts, and achieving success in a variety of domains. However, empathy can be difficult to cultivate because it requires us to step outside of ourselves and view the world from another person's perspective. Our natural tendency towards self-love and self-absorption can make this challenging. The chapter discusses several obstacles to empathy, including ego, fear, and a lack of awareness. Ego can make it difficult to see things from another person's perspective, fear can prevent us from connecting with others, and a lack of awareness can prevent us from recognizing the emotions of others. To overcome these obstacles, the chapter suggests several techniques for developing empathy, including active listening, mindfulness, and perspective taking. These techniques involve learning to pay attention to the emotions of others, practicing self-awareness, and imagining what it would be like to be in another person's shoes. Another key insight in this chapter is the idea that self-love can be transformed into empathy. By recognizing and acknowledging our own emotions, we can develop greater compassion and understanding for others. This involves learning to accept ourselves and our flaws, as well as recognizing that others are also imperfect and struggling in their own way. The chapter also discusses the importance of boundaries in developing empathy. While it is important to be compassionate and understanding towards others, it is also important to protect ourselves from toxic or abusive relationships. This requires setting clear boundaries and learning to say no when necessary. Finally, the chapter emphasizes the importance of ongoing practice and reflection in developing empathy. This is not a one-time effort, but a continuous process of learning and growth. Overall, Chapter 2 of the Laws of Human Nature emphasizes the importance of empathy and offers practical techniques for developing this crucial skill. By learning to step outside of ourselves and view the world from another person's perspective, we can build stronger relationships, resolve conflicts, and achieve greater success in life. Chapter 3: See Through People's Masks. Main idea: people often wear masks or personas to hide their true intentions or emotions. This chapter explores the different types of masks that people wear, how to recognize them, and how to see through them to uncover their true nature. Important points. Masks are a form of self-protection that people use to hide their true emotions, intentions, or identity. They can be conscious or unconscious and can be used for a variety of purposes, such as gaining power or influence, avoiding conflict, or projecting a certain image to others. The chapter discusses several types of masks that people commonly wear, including the false front, the charmer, the intimidator, and the victim. Each of these masks serves a different purpose and can be used to manipulate or deceive others. To see through people's masks, the chapter suggests several techniques, including paying attention to nonverbal cues, listening carefully to what people say, and looking for inconsistencies in their behavior. These techniques involve learning to read people and recognizing when they are not being truthful or sincere. Another key insight in this chapter is the importance of understanding people's underlying motivations and desires. By understanding what drives people, we can better predict their behavior and see through their masks. This involves learning to recognize patterns in people's behavior and understanding their emotional needs and fears. The chapter also discusses the importance of self-awareness in seeing through people's masks. By understanding our own biases and emotions, we can avoid being deceived by others and make more accurate judgments about their true nature. Finally, the chapter emphasizes the importance of balancing skepticism with empathy. While it is important to be skeptical and cautious when dealing with others, it is also important to be empathetic and try to understand their perspective. This requires developing a nuanced understanding of human nature and learning to navigate the complexities of social interaction. Overall, Chapter 3 of The Laws of Human Nature offers valuable insights into the different types of masks that people wear and how to see through them. By developing the ability to read people and understand their underlying motivations, we can avoid being deceived and build more authentic relationships. Chapter 4: Determine the strength of people's character. Main idea: character is an essential aspect of human nature that determines our behavior and actions. This chapter explores the different types of character, how to assess the strength of people's character, and how to develop our own character. Important points. Character is the collection of qualities and traits that define who we are as individuals. It includes our values, beliefs, and moral principles, as well as our personality and temperament. The chapter discusses several types of character, including the egotist, the sociopath, and the selfless person. Each of these types of character represents different values and motivations and can have a profound impact on how people interact with others. To assess the strength of people's character, the chapter suggests several techniques, including observing their behavior, listening to what they say, and examining their values and beliefs. These techniques involve learning to read people and recognizing when their actions and words are inconsistent with their professed values. Another key insight in this chapter is the importance of understanding our own character strengths and weaknesses. By understanding our own values and beliefs, we can develop greater self-awareness and make more intentional choices about our behavior and actions. The chapter also discusses the importance of cultivating strong character traits, such as honesty, integrity, and compassion. This requires ongoing practice and self-reflection and involves learning to recognize and overcome our own weaknesses and flaws. Finally, the chapter emphasizes the importance of balancing our own needs and desires with those of others. While it is important to cultivate our own character strengths, it is also important to consider the impact of our actions on others and strive to build strong, positive relationships. Overall, Chapter 4 of The Laws of Human Nature highlights the importance of character in shaping our behavior and interactions with others. By learning to recognize the different types of character and assessing the strength of people's character, we can build more authentic relationships and make more intentional choices about our own behavior. Additionally, by cultivating strong character traits in ourselves, we can become more self-aware and make a positive impact on those around us. Chapter 5: Become an elusive object of desire. Main idea: this chapter explores the idea of becoming an elusive object of desire, which involves cultivating an air of mystery and unpredictability that attracts others to us. The chapter discusses the psychological principles behind this idea and offers practical advice for how to become more elusive. Important points. Becoming an elusive object of desire involves cultivating a sense of mystery and unpredictability that makes others intrigued and interested in us. This can be achieved through a variety of means, including controlling how much we reveal about ourselves, being unpredictable in our behavior, and creating an aura of exclusivity around us. The chapter discusses several psychological principles that underpin this idea, including the scarcity principle, the law of reversibility, and the power of anticipation. These principles suggest that people are naturally drawn to things that are rare or exclusive, that they value things more when they are taken away, and that they are motivated by the promise of future rewards. To become more elusive, the chapter suggests several techniques, including learning to control our emotions, being mindful of our body language, and developing a sense of style and fashion that sets us apart from others. These techniques involve learning to project an image of confidence and self-assurance that makes others intrigued and interested in us. Another key insight in this chapter is the importance of balancing elusiveness with authenticity. While it is important to cultivate an air of mystery and exclusivity, it is also important to be genuine and true to ourselves. This requires developing a sense of self-awareness and understanding what makes us unique and interesting. The chapter also discusses the importance of understanding our audience and tailoring our elusiveness to the people we are trying to attract. This involves learning to read people and recognizing what motivates them and what they find attractive. Finally, the chapter emphasizes the importance of building genuine connections with others. While being elusive can be an effective way to attract others, it is ultimately our ability to form authentic relationships that will sustain us in the long term. Overall, Chapter 5 of the Laws of Human Nature offers valuable insights into the psychology of attraction and how to become an elusive object of desire. By cultivating a sense of mystery and unpredictability, we can make ourselves more interesting and attractive to others. However, it is important to balance elusiveness with authenticity and to build genuine connections with others that will sustain us in the long term. Chapter 6, Elevate Your Perspective. It focuses on the importance of adopting a more expansive and nuanced view of the world in order to better understand ourselves and others. The chapter presents a number of key ideas and strategies for developing this kind of perspective, which are summarized below. Main idea: in order to become more effective and successful in our interactions with others, we need to cultivate a more sophisticated and nuanced understanding of human behavior, motivation, and emotion. Important points. The first step in elevating our perspective is to recognize the limitations of our current perspective. We all have biases, assumptions, and blind spots that can distort our understanding of the world and other people, and it is important to be aware of these limitations in order to overcome them. One effective way to expand our perspective is to engage in what Greene calls multiple frame thinking. This involves looking at a situation or problem from multiple angles and considering how different people might view it. By doing so, we can gain a more complete and nuanced understanding of the situation and the people involved. Another key strategy for elevating our perspective is to develop a deep understanding of human psychology and motivation. Greene emphasizes the importance of understanding our own psychology and motivations, as well as those of others, in order to better navigate social and professional situations. The chapter also discusses the importance of developing a sense of empathy and compassion for others. This involves recognizing the humanity and complexity of others, and striving to understand their perspectives and experiences. Another key idea in this chapter is the importance of embracing uncertainty and complexity. Rather than seeking simple solutions or easy answers, we need to be willing to grapple with the complexity and ambiguity of the world and of human behavior. Greene also emphasizes the importance of developing a sense of detachment and objectivity in our interactions with others. By stepping back from our own emotions and biases, we can gain a more objective and accurate understanding of the situation and the people involved. Finally, the chapter discusses the importance of developing a broader and more diverse range of experiences and perspectives. By exposing ourselves to different cultures, ideas, and ways of life, we can gain a more expansive and nuanced understanding of the world and the people in it. Overall, Chapter 6 of The Laws of Human Nature is a valuable guide to developing a more sophisticated and nuanced understanding of ourselves and others. By adopting a more expansive perspective, we can become more effective and successful in our personal and professional interactions, and develop greater empathy and compassion for others. Chapter 7, Soften People's Resistance by Confirming their self-opinion. It explores the idea that people are more likely to be receptive to our ideas and suggestions if we can first validate and affirm their sense of self-worth and identity. The chapter presents a number of key ideas and strategies for how to do this effectively, which are summarized below. Main idea: people are more likely to be receptive to our ideas and suggestions if we can first validate and affirm their sense of self-worth and identity. Important points. The chapter begins by emphasizing the importance of recognizing and respecting the self-worth and identity of others. By affirming and validating their sense of self, we can help to create a more positive and productive relationship. One key strategy for softening resistance is to use the power of mirroring. This involves reflecting back to the other person their own thoughts, feelings, and values, which can help them to feel understood and validated. This can be done through active listening and thoughtful questioning. Another important strategy is to appeal to the other person's sense of identity and values. By framing our ideas and suggestions in a way that aligns with their core values and beliefs, we can make it more likely that they will be receptive to our message. The chapter also emphasizes the importance of building rapport and trust with the other person. By showing genuine interest and concern for their well-being, we can help to create a more positive and collaborative relationship. Another key idea in this chapter is the importance of acknowledging and addressing the other person's fears and concerns. By showing empathy and understanding for their worries and anxieties, we can help to alleviate their resistance and create a more positive and constructive relationship. The chapter also explores the importance of using language and tone effectively. By using language that is clear, concise, and non-threatening, we can help to create a more positive and productive dialogue with the other person. Finally, the chapter emphasizes the importance of being patient and persistent. Softening resistance can take time, and it often requires a sustained effort to build trust and rapport with the other person. Overall, Chapter 7 of The Laws of Human Nature is a valuable guide to understanding how to effectively communicate with others by affirming and validating their sense of self-worth and identity. By using strategies such as mirroring, appealing to values, building trust, and addressing fears and concerns, we can create a more positive and collaborative relationship that is more conducive to successful communication and negotiation. Chapter 8: Change Your Circumstances by Changing Your Attitude. It explores the idea that our attitude and mindset can have a powerful impact on our ability to succeed and thrive in any given situation. The chapter presents a number of key ideas and strategies for how to cultivate a positive and proactive attitude, which are summarized below. Main idea: our attitude and mindset can have a powerful impact on our ability to succeed and thrive in any given situation. Important points. The chapter begins by emphasizing the importance of taking responsibility for our own attitudes and perceptions. Rather than blaming external circumstances or other people for our problems, we must learn to take ownership of our own mindset and take proactive steps to change it. One key strategy for changing our attitude is to practice gratitude and appreciation. By focusing on the positive aspects of our lives and expressing gratitude for them, we can cultivate a more positive and optimistic mindset. Another important strategy is to reframe our challenges and setbacks as opportunities for growth and learning. By embracing a growth mindset and viewing our failures as valuable learning experiences, we can become more resilient and adaptable in the face of adversity. The chapter also explores the importance of setting goals and taking action towards them. By identifying clear and achievable goals and taking consistent action towards them, we can build momentum and create a sense of purpose and direction in our lives. Another key idea in this chapter is the importance of self-discipline and self-control. By developing strong habits of self-discipline and avoiding destructive behaviors and distractions, we can build a strong foundation for success and growth. The chapter also emphasizes the importance of cultivating a sense of purpose and meaning in our lives. By identifying our core values and passions, and aligning our actions and goals with them, we can create a more fulfilling and purpose-driven life. Finally, the chapter explores the importance of cultivating a strong social support network. By surrounding ourselves with positive and supportive people who share our values and goals, we can create a more supportive and collaborative environment for growth and success. Overall, Chapter 8 of The Laws of Human Nature is a valuable guide to understanding how our attitude and mindset can have a powerful impact on our ability to succeed and thrive in any given situation. By cultivating a positive and proactive attitude, and taking proactive steps towards our goals, we can create a more fulfilling and purpose-driven life that is more conducive to success and growth. Chapter 9, Confront Your Dark Side. It explores the idea that we all have aspects of our personality that we would rather not acknowledge, but that ignoring or repressing these aspects can lead to negative consequences in our lives. The chapter presents a number of key ideas and strategies for how to confront and integrate our shadow selves, which are summarized below. Main idea: we all have aspects of our personality that we would rather not acknowledge, but that ignoring or repressing these aspects can lead to negative consequences in our lives. Important points. The chapter begins by introducing the concept of the shadow self, which refers to the parts of our personality that we have repressed or denied. These aspects can include our fears, desires, and impulses that we have deemed unacceptable or shameful. The chapter emphasizes that ignoring or repressing our shadow selves can lead to negative consequences, such as anxiety, depression, and self-destructive behaviors. By confronting and integrating these aspects of ourselves, we can become more balanced and integrated individuals. One key strategy for confronting our shadow selves is to identify the patterns and behaviors that we engage in unconsciously. By becoming more aware of these patterns, we can begin to understand the underlying motivations and desires that are driving them. Another important strategy is to practice self-reflection and introspection. By taking time to examine our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors, we can gain a deeper understanding of our own psyche and begin to integrate our shadow selves. The chapter also explores the importance of accepting and embracing our emotions, even the uncomfortable ones. By allowing ourselves to feel and express our emotions in a healthy way, we can become more emotionally intelligent and better equipped to handle the challenges and stresses of life. Another key idea in this chapter is the importance of embracing our vulnerabilities and imperfections. By acknowledging and accepting our flaws, we can become more authentic and compassionate individuals, both towards ourselves and others. Finally, the chapter emphasizes the importance of taking responsibility for our own actions and behaviors. By owning up to our mistakes and flaws, we can begin to take proactive steps towards growth and self-improvement. Overall, Chapter 9 of The Laws of Human Nature is a valuable guide to understanding and integrating our shadow selves. By confronting and integrating these aspects of ourselves, we can become more balanced, authentic, and compassionate individuals who are better equipped to handle the challenges and stresses of life. Chapter 10, Beware the Fragile Ego. It explores the idea that our ego, or sense of self, can be fragile and easily wounded. The chapter presents a number of key ideas and strategies for how to identify and manage fragile egos, which are summarized below. Main idea: our ego, or sense of self, can be fragile and easily wounded, which can lead to negative consequences in our relationships and interactions with others. Important points. The chapter begins by defining the concept of the ego, which refers to our sense of self and identity. The ego can be fragile and easily wounded, leading to negative consequences such as defensiveness, insecurity, and arrogance. The chapter explores the different types of fragile egos, including the narcissistic ego, the passive-aggressive ego, and the overcompensating ego. Each type of fragile ego manifests in different ways and can have different impacts on our relationships and interactions with others. One key strategy for managing fragile egos is to practice empathy and emotional intelligence. By understanding and acknowledging the feelings and perspectives of others, we can avoid triggering their fragile egos and build stronger, more positive relationships. The chapter also emphasizes the importance of self-awareness and self-reflection in managing fragile egos. By recognizing our own triggers and patterns of behavior, we can better understand and manage our own ego-driven tendencies. Another important strategy is to avoid comparing ourselves to others or seeking validation from external sources. By cultivating a sense of inner security and self-worth, we can reduce the impact of our fragile egos on our interactions with others. The chapter also explores the role of power and status in fragile egos. Those who hold positions of power or authority are often more prone to developing fragile egos, and may be more susceptible to negative consequences such as arrogance or defensiveness. Finally, the chapter emphasizes the importance of maintaining a growth mindset and being open to feedback and criticism. By acknowledging our own flaws and limitations, we can become more resilient and less susceptible to the negative consequences of a fragile ego. Overall, Chapter 10 of The Laws of Human Nature is a valuable guide to identifying and managing fragile egos. By practicing empathy, self-awareness, and a growth mindset, we can build stronger, more positive relationships and avoid the negative consequences of a fragile ego. Chapter 11, Know Your Limits. It explores the importance of understanding our own limitations and weaknesses in order to achieve success and fulfillment. The chapter presents a number of key ideas and strategies for how to identify and manage our limitations, which are summarized below. Main idea: understanding and accepting our own limitations is essential for achieving success and fulfillment. Important points. The chapter begins by emphasizing the importance of recognizing our own limitations and weaknesses. By acknowledging these areas of weakness, we can begin to develop strategies for overcoming them and achieving our goals. The chapter explores the concept of cognitive biases, which are patterns of thinking that can lead us to overestimate our abilities or make poor decisions. By understanding these biases, we can become more self-aware and make more informed decisions. One key strategy for managing our limitations is to embrace a growth mindset. This involves recognizing that our abilities and skills are not fixed, but can be developed through practice and hard work. The chapter also emphasizes the importance of seeking feedback and advice from others. By soliciting input from others, we can gain a more accurate understanding of our strengths and weaknesses, and develop strategies for improving in areas where we may be lacking. Another important strategy is to set realistic goals and expectations. By setting achievable goals and avoiding unrealistic expectations, we can reduce the risk of becoming discouraged or demotivated. The chapter also explores the role of fear and insecurity in limiting our potential. By confronting our fears and insecurities, we can develop greater self-confidence and overcome self-imposed limitations. Finally, the chapter emphasizes the importance of accepting our own limitations and weaknesses. By acknowledging and accepting our limitations, we can focus on our strengths and develop strategies for achieving success and fulfillment. Overall, Chapter 11 of The Laws of Human Nature is a valuable guide to understanding and managing our own limitations. By embracing a growth mindset, seeking feedback from others, setting realistic goals, and confronting our fears and insecurities, we can overcome our limitations and achieve our full potential. Chapter 12, Reconnect to the Masculine or Feminine Within You. The chapter explores the concept of gender identity and how it can impact our personal and professional lives. The main idea of the chapter is that by embracing both our masculine and feminine qualities, we can achieve greater balance and success in all aspects of our lives. Important points. The chapter begins by exploring the traditional concepts of masculinity and femininity and how they have evolved over time. The author argues that our gender identity is not fixed but can be influenced by a range of factors, including cultural norms and personal experiences. The chapter emphasizes the importance of embracing both our masculine and feminine qualities. By recognizing and valuing these qualities, we can achieve greater balance and fulfillment in our lives. The chapter explores the ways in which our gender identity can impact our personal and professional lives. For example, the author suggests that women may struggle to assert themselves in male-dominated workplaces, while men may feel pressure to conform to traditional masculine stereotypes. One key strategy for embracing both our masculine and feminine qualities is to cultivate empathy and emotional intelligence. By developing these qualities, we can better understand and connect with others, regardless of their gender identity. The chapter also explores the importance of setting boundaries and asserting ourselves in a healthy way. By recognizing our own needs and asserting them in a respectful manner, we can achieve greater balance and avoid becoming overwhelmed or burned out. Another important strategy is to cultivate a sense of purpose and meaning in our lives. By identifying our values and passions, we can create a sense of direction and focus that can help us achieve our goals. The chapter also emphasizes the importance of self-care and self-compassion. By taking care of ourselves and treating ourselves with kindness and respect, we can develop greater resilience and cope more effectively with life's challenges. Finally, the chapter encourages readers to challenge traditional gender norms and stereotypes. By embracing a more fluid and inclusive view of gender identity, we can create a more equitable and supportive society for everyone. Overall, Chapter 12 of The Laws of Human Nature provides valuable insights into the complex and evolving nature of gender identity. By embracing both our masculine and feminine qualities, cultivating empathy and emotional intelligence, setting healthy boundaries, and finding meaning and purpose in our lives, we can achieve greater balance and success in all aspects of our lives. Chapter 13, Advance with a Sense of Purpose. The chapter explores the concept of purpose and how it can impact our personal and professional lives. The main idea of the chapter is that by finding and pursuing our purpose, we can achieve greater fulfillment and success in all aspects of our lives. Important points. The chapter begins by exploring the concept of purpose and why it is so important. The author argues that purpose gives our lives direction and meaning, and helps us to stay focused and motivated in the face of challenges. The chapter emphasizes the importance of aligning our purpose with our values and passions. By identifying what we care about most and what we are naturally good at, we can find a purpose that feels authentic and meaningful to us. The chapter explores the ways in which purpose can impact our personal and professional lives. For example, the author suggests that having a clear sense of purpose can help us to make better decisions, build stronger relationships, and achieve our goals more effectively. One key strategy for finding and pursuing our purpose is to cultivate self-awareness. By understanding our strengths and weaknesses, our values and passions, and our goals and aspirations, we can identify a purpose that aligns with who we are and what we want to achieve. The chapter also emphasizes the importance of taking action and making progress towards our purpose. By setting goals and developing a plan of action, we can move closer to our purpose and achieve a sense of momentum and progress. Another important strategy is to cultivate resilience and adaptability. By recognizing that our purpose may evolve and change over time, and by being willing to adapt and pivot as needed, we can stay true to our purpose while also navigating the challenges and opportunities that come our way. The chapter also explores the role of mentors and role models in helping us to find and pursue our purpose. By seeking out the guidance and support of others who have achieved success in our chosen field, we can learn from their experiences and insights and apply them to our own journey. Finally, the chapter encourages readers to be mindful of the impact of their actions and decisions on others. By pursuing our purpose in a way that is ethical and considerate of others, we can achieve greater fulfillment and success while also making a positive impact on the world around us. Overall, Chapter 13 of The Laws of Human Nature provides valuable insights into the importance of purpose and how to find and pursue it. By aligning our purpose with our values and passions, cultivating self-awareness, taking action and making progress, cultivating resilience and adaptability, seeking out mentors and role models, and being mindful of our impact on others, we can achieve greater fulfillment and success in all aspects of our lives. Chapter 14, Resist the Downward Pull of the Group. Robert Greene talks about the tendency of people to conform to the group, often resulting in negative outcomes for themselves and the society. The author emphasizes the importance of maintaining an individual identity and resisting the downward pull of the group. The main idea of this chapter is that groups have a powerful influence on our behavior and decision-making, which can lead to conformity and the suppression of individuality. This can result in groupthink, where people blindly follow the group's decisions, even if it goes against their own values and beliefs. Greene presents several examples of groupthink throughout history, such as the Bay of Pigs invasion, the Challenger space shuttle disaster, and the financial crisis of 2008. In each case, groupthink played a significant role in the failure of decision-making. The author highlights the importance of being aware of the influence of the group and the need to maintain an individual identity. Greene suggests several strategies for resisting the downward pull of the group, such as developing a sense of self-awareness, questioning the group's decisions, seeking out diverse opinions, and being willing to stand alone. He also emphasizes the importance of having a strong sense of purpose and values, which can help individuals resist the influence of the group. By having a clear sense of what is important to them, individuals can stay true to their beliefs and make decisions that align with their values, even if it means going against the group. Overall, Chapter 14 encourages readers to be aware of the power of the group and to resist the tendency to conform blindly. By maintaining an individual identity and being willing to stand alone, individuals can make better decisions and have a positive impact on society. Chapter 15, Make them want to follow you. The chapter focuses on the qualities of a charismatic leader and how to inspire others to follow them. The main idea of the chapter is that great leaders possess certain qualities that make others want to follow them, and these qualities can be cultivated through practice and self-awareness. The author argues that charisma is not an innate trait that some people are born with, but rather a set of skills that can be developed and honed over time. Greene presents several historical figures as examples of charismatic leaders, such as Martin Luther King Jr., Napoleon Bonaparte, and Winston Churchill. He identifies certain qualities that these leaders possess, such as confidence, vision, and the ability to inspire and motivate others. The author also discusses the importance of body language and vocal tone in conveying charisma. He suggests that great leaders have a certain physical presence and a powerful voice that commands attention and respect. To cultivate charisma, Greene advises readers to work on developing their self-confidence, communication skills, and ability to connect with others on an emotional level. He suggests practicing public speaking, improving body language, and learning to listen actively. The chapter also emphasizes the importance of having a clear vision and purpose that inspires others. Greene suggests that leaders should have a long-term vision for their organization or community and communicate that vision effectively to others. Overall, the chapter emphasizes that charisma is not an innate quality but a set of skills that can be developed through practice and self-awareness. By working on developing these qualities, individuals can become more effective leaders and inspire others to follow them. Chapter 16, See the hostility behind the friendly facade. The chapter focuses on the concept of passive aggressiveness, how it manifests in human behavior, and how to identify and handle it. The main idea of the chapter is that passive aggressiveness is a common behavior that people use to express their anger or frustration indirectly, often through seemingly friendly or helpful actions. The author argues that it is important to recognize passive-aggressive behavior and understand its underlying motivations in order to prevent it from damaging relationships and causing conflict. Greene presents several examples of passive-aggressive behavior, such as withholding information, sabotaging projects, and making backhanded compliments. He argues that these actions are a form of manipulation that allow individuals to express their negative emotions without taking direct responsibility for their actions. To identify passive-aggressive behavior, the author suggests paying attention to patterns of behavior, recognizing when someone is consistently uncooperative or evasive, and noticing when someone is giving mixed signals. The chapter also provides strategies for dealing with passive-aggressive behavior. Greene advises readers to confront the behavior directly, communicate assertively, and set clear boundaries. He emphasizes the importance of staying calm and not reacting emotionally to the behavior, as this can often escalate the situation. In addition, the author suggests examining one's own behavior to ensure that one is not engaging in passive-aggressive behavior. He argues that by being aware of one's own tendencies, it is possible to prevent conflicts from arising and build stronger relationships. Overall, the chapter emphasizes the importance of recognizing and dealing with passive-aggressive behavior. By understanding the motivations behind this behavior and taking proactive steps to address it, individuals can prevent conflicts and build stronger, healthier relationships. Chapter 17, Seize the historical moment. The main idea of this chapter is that throughout history, there have been individuals who have recognized the power of a historical moment and have seized it to achieve great things. According to the author, understanding how to identify and seize these moments is critical to achieving greatness in any endeavor. The chapter begins by discussing how certain individuals throughout history were able to recognize the significance of a particular moment and use it to their advantage. These moments often involve a major shift in the political or social climate, such as a revolution or a major technological advancement. The author cites examples such as Napoleon Bonaparte, who recognized the significance of the French Revolution and used it to gain power, and Steve Jobs, who recognized the potential of personal computing and used it to revolutionize the tech industry. The author then goes on to discuss how one can identify a historical moment and seize it. He emphasizes the importance of being attuned to the cultural, economic, and political factors that are driving change in society. This involves a deep understanding of history and the ability to recognize patterns and trends. The author also discusses the importance of taking action when a historical moment presents itself. This involves being proactive and taking risks, even if they seem daunting. The author emphasizes that those who hesitate or wait too long to act will often miss out on opportunities. The chapter concludes by discussing the potential pitfalls of trying to seize a historical moment. The author cautions against becoming too caught up in the moment and losing sight of long-term goals. He also emphasizes the importance of staying true to one's values and principles, even in the midst of rapid change. Overall, the main idea of this chapter is that recognizing and seizing a historical moment is critical to achieving greatness. To do so, one must be attuned to the cultural, economic, and political factors driving change, take proactive action, and stay true to one's values and principles. Chapter 18, Meditate on Our Common Mortality. In this chapter, Greene talks about the importance of contemplating one's own mortality and how it can help us live a more fulfilling life. The main idea of the chapter is that by acknowledging our mortality, we can gain a deeper understanding of the preciousness of life, and how we should make the most of it. The chapter discusses various perspectives on mortality, ranging from ancient philosophies to modern scientific findings. Greene emphasizes the importance of accepting our mortality as a natural part of life, rather than denying or ignoring it. He states that accepting mortality can bring us closer to our humanity, and make us more compassionate and empathetic towards others. The chapter also talks about the benefits of meditating on mortality, which can help us gain a new perspective on our lives and prioritize what truly matters. It can help us become more present in the moment, and let go of the anxieties and worries that distract us from living fully. Additionally, the chapter explores the idea of a legacy, and how contemplating our own mortality can help us define what we want to leave behind for future generations. It encourages readers to think about what impact they want to make on the world, and how they can contribute positively to society. Overall, the chapter highlights the importance of embracing our mortality and using it as a tool for living a more meaningful and fulfilling life.